Hello, how are you? Welcome to my channel. My name is Ruth and today I am doing my second speed reviews. Yay! The first one seemed to go down well, so I thought I'd throw something on the floor first and then I'll do another one. Excuse me, I have an itchy nose. Yeah, people seem to enjoy the first one, so I thought, okay. And it's a great way of me using the new things that I have, but using them properly, if that makes sense. So using them consistently for a period of time in the same environment, so the same primer, the same, you know what I mean, items that go with it that won't affect it adversely. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. But then trying them out with a different primer, trying them out with a different powder, trying them with a sponge, trying them with a brush, trying to, you know what I mean? So I get a real feel for the products and hopefully then I can relate to you a more rounded review, if that makes sense. And if you are somebody, I'm so sorry, my nose is so itchy, the scarf is very fluffy. Sorry, I'm a bit congested. If you are somebody who is easily swayed or is on a no-buy or doesn't want the temptation of purchasing, then by all means hop on out of this video and go on to another one. I won't be in the least bit offended. I will understand completely because I am easily swayed. I have stopped watching a lot of the bigger YouTubers that I really feel are selling me stuff. So I completely understand if this is a bit triggers your shopping. So don't feel bad. Go on. It's fine. You're not missing out on anything major. I promise. But some of these things I will be saying as well aren't worth the money. So maybe it'll help you go, oh, okay, I can take that off my wish list now. I can go. Who knows? But yeah, I'm enjoying doing this. And I'm enjoying using the products I have because I have a very firm kind of thing now. I've been very, very blessed and lucky and just incredibly grateful to have some wonderful friends who've sent me beautiful products, and it means that I have a drawer there of new things that I can play with and I can try and I can review and stuff like that. And at the moment financially we're not in a good position, and so I'm very much an emotional shopper, and there's a lot going on at the moment emotionally, and it would normally trigger me to shop. But because of the generosity of some wonderful, wonderful friends, I have a drawer that I can open and shop in and kind of satiate that need. And I can go into that drawer whenever I want, just like I can click online whenever I want. Wow, this is not where this video is supposed to be going. I'm supposed to be concise and, you know, should have known better. It's me. I can't do that. Let's get on, shall we? So, I have my notebook. I am an old school note taker. I'm not great at the notes apps on phones and stuff like that. I'm just not. It's not me. You know, not everyone does the same things the same. But anyway, so this first item is, my book doesn't want to sit down. We'll work this out. This is my Perfect Colour Perfect Finish Foundation, medium to full coverage, natural finish, moisturising vitamin E, and it is €3. And I have the shade Nude Beige, 03 Nude Beige is the shade. So this is from Primark, and Primark or pennies depending on where you live in the world. All their products are cruelty free. You get 35ml, which is 1.1 fluid ounce, so a bit more than your normal kind of 30ml, and it's just a bog standard squeezy tube, twist off top, and this is what the product looks like. So it's actually quite thick. The scent, there is a scent on it. It's a bit strong. It's kind of a makeup scent, I suppose I would call it. I think I can smell a little bit of alcohol in there, maybe. That's probably what lets it dry down a bit. A good colour match for me, kind of neutral shade, which was good. It's not too pink and not too yellow. The finish on it, I said, is medium satin, and application wise, I find with a dense makeup brush like this, It's okay for putting it on, but it doesn't blend it nicely. It kind of sits on top of your skin. So I do find using a beauty blender, this is dirty because I was using it today. It's on today, by the way. Anything I'm talking about here is actually on today. It just blends it out better and just more seamlessly, and it will look really well on the skin. Not eventually, it's not like it takes ages, do you know, but I find the sponge makes it look better. So this is what it looks like. So it's quite, when they say medium to full, I mean, it is leaning very much towards full. For me, I suppose. Maybe not if you're someone that likes like intense full coverage. But I definitely feel you can get this to a good full coverage if you so need it to be. So my thoughts on it. So I said the scent is quite strong, and it is quite strong. Today I have the e.l.f. Putty Primer on, and I think that really suits it, because when I put on the e.l.f. Putty Primer, I just put it on my T-zone where my pores would be more emphasized, and without that it does kind of sink into the pores a bit and kind of highlights them. So if you have something like that, some sort of pore filling primer, it will make this look very smooth. And I say it's kind of a matte satin look. Now obviously I have highlighter and stuff on today, I have powder on and that, but I think it looks quite well. I have to say I'm happy with it in real life, you know what I mean. It looks very well. Now I said as the day went on, because obviously I've worn these other days, I've said it wears off unevenly, so on the chin, jaws and cheek. So I suppose where I'm touching, kind of, you know what I mean, those kind of places, it does seem to move. Even with a good setting powder and with a good setting spray, it does seem to move a little bit. I said the forehead and nose were still okay, so I wouldn't be touching them as much. So I suppose my oils didn't push through, but then again, we are in winter, so maybe in summertime it would do. But just any place that I would touch, it did wear off, and unevenly so. Do you know the way some foundations, it wears off, and you don't notice it so much, but sometimes if it wears off unevenly, it looks very obvious that you have foundation on some parts in your face and not on others. Does that make sense? But yeah, I said as well, there was another day where I had a spot on my cheek and it didn't cover it. So considering it's supposed to be medium to full coverage, and I did try pinpointing it, if you know what I mean, nearly using it as a concealer, which I think a full coverage foundation should be able to do. So it didn't cover that spot, which I thought was odd. But I did say the powder products look good on top of it. And I like how I look when I have it on. Now, it's $3.50, and you have to bear that in mind. You know what I mean? It's perhaps not going to be perfect, but it is very good for $3.50. I mean, it's hard to go wrong with it. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not in raptures over it. I don't love it to bits, but I'll use it, I'll wear it, I'll pan it, I won't declutter it. I get my use out of it, and I think for $3.50 it's very hard to go wrong, guys. It really is. Or €3, not even $3.50, €3. So yeah, it's definitely one I'll keep in my collection, and like I said, I'll pan it. I mightn't repurchase it. Now, having said that, if I was in the middle of, you know, I forgot my makeup bag, went down to Cork for the weekend, forgot my makeup bag, I could pop into Penneys, pick this up, and be quite happy that I'll have something that'll keep me going for the weekend. Do you know what I mean? So that's you know, I think that's a good enough review for, you know, something that's that price. If you're willing to pick it up if you were stuck, then that's good. Is it? I think so. I'm sorry. We're a little bit sick in this household at the moment. But yeah, I wanted to put makeup on today and feel a bit better, and just kind of do this review video, because I was really excited about how well the last one did, so I kind of wanted to do another one, but I hope I'm being coherent. Next up is from Catrice, and this is the More Than Glow highlighter. So I think I saw Alejandra Lisette talking about this and how much she enjoyed, not this particular shade, I don't think. This is Supreme Rose Beam 020, and I think she has the one that is a bit more golden. This is definitely more of a pinky tone, but then Alex is quite, you know, she would be more leaning olive, kind of warm skin tone, which I'm more cooler, kind of neutral skin tone. But I saw this and I thought, yeah, let's give this a go. This is it here. Very, like, you can make it to be absolutely blinding if you want, or you can I find it sheer it out and make it look a bit more, I don't want to say wearable because that's not the right word, but you know, for my older skin, I kind of feel like I need it to be less intense so that it doesn't emphasize wrinkles and stuff like that. But it's good. It's lovely solid packaging. I love the size of it as well. You know, it's not as colossal as some other brands highlighters are. There's 5.9 grams or 0.20 ounces. Packaging is quite sturdy on it as well, not as flimsy as say the Essence, who is their sister brand. And I don't know, I like this little detail of just the ring around the edge of it. Yeah, I said it's a pinky champagne, little to no glitter. So I would say maybe there might be micro glitter in it if you look really closely, but I'm not seeing any big flecks of glitter, which I appreciate. I said very nice, not too intense, very pretty on the skin, doesn't emphasize texture or fine lines. Really, really like it. And I mean, this is Catrice. So I didn't write down what price it is. I think it was €5.50. I'm nearly certain it was €5.50. It was either €5.50 or €6.50, but no, I'm nearly certain it was €5.50. And I just think it's a lovely little highlighter, and I just appreciate it being a bit smaller and not, you know, some of these brands with their highlighters and they're as big as bronzers, and you're like, why? Who's going to be doing their whole face in highlighter? Nobody. But I even like the little detail of the pattern on it, if you can see it. It's like a little floral pattern, which is really, really pretty on it. So yeah, I thought this was actually a lovely highlighter. If you're into something, it's a silky smooth highlighter powder with light reflecting pigments, melts perfectly into the skin and gives an intense metallic glow. I do think you could get it intense if you wanted to. I personally don't want to. I typically will use something like this, kind of a not too flimsy and fluffy, but still a kind of a fluffy-ish brush, and I really buff it in, you know, and I take it up to the forehead and that, but I don't just do a streak of a line, I really buff it in. Will I say really buff it in once? But yeah, I just really like that. I think it's a lovely little highlighter and well worth the price tag, in my opinion. So that's an absolute love it. Next up is from Beauty Bakery. So this is the Beauty Bakery Flour Better Not Bitter. Sorry, now the packaging is a bit kind of light bounces off it. This is in Oat Translucent, and you get 12.5 grams, 0.44 ounces. They are cruelty free. So is Catrice, by the way, and so is Primark, if I didn't say. Packaging, I think, is actually quite beautiful. It's got this twist. Don't know if you can see there, but it twists around, and you got the little holes opening up, and you can tap a bit out into your lid and twist it around, and it gives a really good solid kind of closure. I don't feel like I'd have to worry about this if I was going away on holidays or something like that, kind of going all over the bag or that. It would really be safe inside there, which I appreciate with a loose powder. I said it is kind of this shade. I know it says Oat Translucent, but I suppose it leans a tiny bit beige, I'm saying. Initial thoughts, unsure. It looks a bit heavy on the skin. Under eye looking a tad cakey with concealer. Definitely felt like it was gathering in spots. And matte, but not flat, which I appreciate. I don't like flat powders. I like a little bit of glow to shine through. Found using a more detailed brush for precision and not just dust all over. So I rather use either something like this or something like that to kind of get it where I want it. So under the eyes, around the nose maybe, you know, so I'm not using something like a big fluffy brush and just going ham on the face. I just find it gives a very cakey look if I do that. I prefer the more detailed brush. I said it tones down shine on the T-zone. Overall, an okay powder, perhaps better suited to summer when skin needs more help to be shine free. So in the winter time, I'm finding it just a little bit drying. But I wonder in the summertime when there's more oils coming through the skin, is this going to be a great combatant? So I'll be curious to see. I definitely said with the lighter, fluffier brush, I much prefer the effect on the skin. I don't love it for the under eyes. I find that it's too thick for the under eyes. It's not finely milled enough for me personally, and my more mature under eyes. So yeah, I don't love it for the under eyes, but it's okay on the rest of the face. And I think, like I said, in the summer, on the T-zone especially, I think it might do well. So I've no doubt I'll maybe put it into a project or something then, and I'll report back to you as to what I think. So that one I've said I'll pan it. So it's not a love it and it's not a declutter, but I will pan it. Next up is an eye primer. I'm in love with this eye primer. Spoiler alert. Do you need the review then? No, okay, bye. This is the e.l.f. Putty Eye Primer. If it'll... The e.l.f. practitioner always seems to struggle to... What's the word I'm looking for, guys? Zoom in? No. Focus! That's the word I was after. Focus. So this is an eye primer. Obviously, as it says, the shade is kind of a creamy beigey kind of shade, and they are cruelty free. I said the cap is poor. It kind of gets gumped up. If you can see around the edges there, it gets quite gumped up no matter how careful you are with the brush, and then the cap finds it hard to screw back on. If you can see, maybe can you see the inside there? You know, that's all the product, and no matter how much I clean it and that, it still kind of gets gunked up on me, which is a pity. It's about the only thing I don't like about it. There's no scent to it. It's kind of a matte finish on it, and it is light beige, I've said, in colour. I said I use a dense brush to apply it. So typically I would use something like this from Real Techniques, or you know, something similar. So like an eye brush, but one that's kind of synthetic and a bit denser, and I just buff it in to the whole eye socket. I said I don't need much, and it definitely cancels out the lid. So if you have any veins or anything like that in your lids, this will definitely cancel them out. I said with the mattes, it can need a little bit more time maybe to blend them out. It can not stick to it, because that's not right, because it would look very patchy, but it just takes a little bit more time. Now you can of course set your lid with a matte cream shade or something like that if you wanted to, and that would work perfectly with it. But I said it's a good shade for me. I have noticed a massive difference in how eyeshadows react with my lids. So I've mentioned previously in the past, sometimes for some reason, whether it's a shade thing or a ingredient thing or a shimmer or glitter thing, I don't know, because I've tried narrowing it down, but it's very hard. And what can happen is my eyes will literally feel like a cold burn, if that makes sense, or they'll feel wet, and I'll just eventually have to take off the eyeshadow because it'll be just uncomfortable, not painful but uncomfortable on the eyelids, and cause my eyes to water a lot. And since using this, because I don't know whether it's because it's thicker and there's more of a barrier between eyeshadow and my eyelid, I don't know, but I've definitely noticed a massive reduction in that. Still get it the odd time, but not so much at all. And I do notice as well that it is quite a dry formula. I never said this is in cream. So like, I don't know how to show it. It's very dry. You can warm it up a bit with your finger if you wish, but I just think, I don't know, is that part of the reason that I love it, because it's dry? Do you know, and that's why you don't need to set it really, because it is quite a dry formula. It's not too wet or tacky or anything like that. I don't really know how else to describe it, only that I absolutely love it. Now I do believe it's supposed to be a dupe for the MAC cream pots, in Brulee, is it? Paint pots, that's it. I've never tried them, so I can't say that it is, but I can understand how it might be. And I do know as well that Robert Welch is a huge fan of these. So if Robert Welch says it's good, it has to be good. And that's actually why I bought it, was because he was saying how good it is. And I was looking for a primer because I don't like the e.l.f. This is e.l.f. I don't like the Urban Decay primer potion. Not for me. I don't like the Milani Eye Bit primer that Emily Noel adores. Doesn't do it for me. And I've done, you know, applied it the way she said, but again, I think it's too thin, and I think I need something thicker. and that is working for me. I really, really like it, I have to say. And then the last item today, because I like to keep these to 5 because we're already on 20 minutes. And I know I ain't got time to be hanging around that long. I know you don't. This is from Revolution, and it is the Eye Bright Illuminating Under Eye Concealer in the shade Fair. Hope you can see it there. Hard to see, it's very reflective packaging. Reflective, I think I was looking for that word earlier, wasn't I? It looks like I've used quite a lot, but I have not. And the reason that is because the first go of this, you're twisting and 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 twisting forever. And it seems like you're like, okay, is this product just full of air? But then I was watching Kelly Gooch, and she uses a darker shade of this as a bronzer. And she was saying that once it got to there and then she started using it, thinking she'd fly through it, it really moved slowly. So obviously it just needs a lot of twisting to get it up to there, and then it slows down. Because I was at first kind of thinking, well, this is just a false economy because I'm going to fly through it altogether. And I know Jessica Braun really likes this one as well. I think it was her that I saw it on first, and then Kelly Gooch was talking about it as well. Revolution is cruelty free. The packaging is quite nice actually. It's quite a luxurious kind of packaging. You know, you have this lovely kind of, would you say rose gold, kind of golden rose gold packaging. Very pretty. You've got the airless kind of pump moving up along. You have the disgusting sponge that all these brands love to put in their products. This probably will be torn off at some stage. Having said that, at the moment it is quite a pleasant sponge to use, so it's quite gentle and it doesn't feel like it's got a load of gunk on it. So there it is there, that is the shade. And it's one of these twist up ones. So yeah, I like the packaging on it. Good seal, good close as well, which I appreciate. So what I had said about this, I said very light and liquidy in consistency and low in coverage. I did find that it settles into fine lines. I don't know, because I wonder if I turn off my light, you might be able to see me at all, because it's nighttime. No, well, you can a little bit. Can you see that it's kind of settling in lines a little bit? Maybe not. I don't know. It's not as bad today because I feel like I used less of it. I kind of feel like less is more with this. I said that about it taking ages for the product to come out. I feel like it lifts my foundation, so I actually put this on underneath my foundation today, and maybe that's why as well it's doing better, because obviously if you do your concealer first, I find you don't bring your foundation up as high, whereas if you haven't, personally, not you, me, if I haven't put on my concealer before my foundation, I'll bring my foundation up no matter how hard I try not to, because I find it, I just want to cover the circles, and I just put it, even though I know I'm going to be putting on concealer. So I've just found that putting on concealer before my foundation has helped me stop that. I said every time I need more product, it takes about 5 twists. I seem to be flying through product, but haven't, like I said, watched Kelly. It's kind of reassured me. Now I don't know if you can tell or not, but it has kind of dried down to nearly a matte finish there, more of a kind of a satin matte. This is it here. So yeah, I'm not in raptures about it. Now again, I'm so sorry I keep it to my nose, but this fluff, whatever it is, will not leave. I am on the hunt, the eternal hunt, for a concealer that I can fall in love with and not feel like it is emphasizing my under eyes as opposed to improving them. And I don't necessarily think that this is the one. So I will pan it. I'm not decluttering it because it does have its uses, definitely. And I did enjoy it for kind of, you know, the center of the face kind of highlighting, you know, using concealer. I enjoyed it for that as well. So I will get use out of this, and I will eventually finish it off and pan it, but it's not something that I would necessarily run out and buy. I really hope this is okay. I'm not convinced that it is, because I'm just, like I said, I'm a little bit all over the place at the moment, but I really wanted to do a video, and these products have kind of been sitting there waiting to be reviewed, and I really wanted to kind of record it and have it done so I can get them off my desk and into my drawers and stuff. How are you all doing, guys? Are we all doing okay out there? I know it's crazy times at the moment. As I said in other videos, unfortunately, there is COVID in the house. I, at the moment, don't seem to be having awful symptoms. When I start to get a cold or a flu, my teeth get sore first, and then it works up my palate of the roof of my mouth and kind of works back into my throat. But it can take 3 or 4 days for that process. Pete has been quite unwell. He's, God, the cough. My God, the cough is brutal. But he's doing okay. And I've taken Deb's advice, and we make sure that we're up and moving about a good bit during the day and not kind of just lying prone and, you know, doing ourselves more harm than good, but we're still resting, and we're, you know, having our soups and our liquids and our hot teas and kind of stuff like that. So we're, you know, we're okay. But yeah, and what's going on in the world at the moment is horrific and awful. But again, going by videos that people have commented on, that this helps. It's a bit of an escapism. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you're doing well and taking some time for yourself and minding yourself. And I'll chat to you in the next one. Take care. Bye. Slán.